So, how did all this become this? In this video, we'll find out.
Well, folks, as you can see, I'm out on the trail today with John from Gel Builder. We're looking for an aeroplane. That was an excerpt from Rob's excellent video on the history of West End. Just one thing I thought he could have mentioned. Well, T-Rox, you've lost your marbles. There's no way Rob missed anything in West End. Well, he missed one landmark. This bloke, George Kyprios. George was a bit of a West End homebody. Born in West End, bred in West End. In fact, George lived his entire life within one block. There it is. Born in Thomas Street, grew up in Princhester Street. That's it. Passed away over at the Mater. He lived in this house. This is what it looked like in his day. And later on it got revenerated, and now it looks a bit like this. But George Kyprios is an Australian of Greek descent, although he was born in West End. But we all know him as Rock and Roll George, with that FX Holden 1952 that his mum bought him. Drove around Brisbane. Anyone that grew up in Brisbane in the 1970s remembers Rock and Roll George. Radio blaring, driving just around Queen Street and the other places at night. West End was a bit different when he started doing this, but he kept going. He was born in 1927 in Thomas Street, and he died in 2009, so 82 years, and a lot of that spent driving around Brisbane. Was George a normal person? No, I don't think so. I have not met George. I did see him a few times when I was young, but I know people who've met him, and I've spoken to them just in this last weekend. Oh, he's not a normal person by any means, but harmless, no complaints about him, just kept doing it until he couldn't do it anymore. Actually, I think the car gave out before George did. The poor thing was rusted. Spoke to a bloke who spoke to his mechanic. He said it was held together with rust. He's now made famous in the Mount Gravatt Cemetery. You've now got, or the Nathan Cemetery, you've now got Rock and Roll George Avenue. So George, long may you cruise. And of course, keep rocking. T-Rock's out.